Hey, what's up, guys? Just trying to give you a quick nerd rage review of the Revoltech Ultron. Um, it's a pretty good figure. It's kind of like the Mafex Vader. I'm just like really impressed by it, and I really don't like Revoltech. I mean, I like how they look, but just the ratchet joints have always like pissed me off to no end. And I just wanted to do a quick little things to show you guys. Okay, so this is the Figure Arts cap. That's the Figure Arts store, and you can see that Ultron is pretty good in scale with them because he's taller. He's supposed to be, I think, maybe close to 9 feet. um, Cap's like six something, and Thor's like six something as well. So I mean, the scale's pretty good. So if you guys look at him, he looks a lot like the Figure Arts. I was going to get the Figure Arts too. I probably still am, but same thing as the Mafex Vader. I saw so many things online that were good about it that it was like, man, I better jump on it before the Figure Arts comes out. And then I find out the Ultron, and I find out this is sold out, and then I can't go back and get it. So let me be real quick so you guys can see his skills really well. Let me remove these two figures out, and let me show you guys something, all right? So this is the, I'm going to try to put the Marvel Legends next to it. Okay, that's the build a figure right here. Um, try to lift this up. As you guys can see, it's not. The worst part about the build a figure is that it has two different grays for Ultron. It has like a really silvery one here color, and then right here it's like they forgot to paint it. Same thing with his forearms here. Same thing with part of his feet, and that's what sucks. But if you guys look at the Ultron made by Revoltech, the finish is like, damn, it's so good. It's like they really went out of their way to make sure he looked like the real deal right away. So I'm gonna move this piece of crap out of the way, and I'm gonna give you guys a little quick rundown of Revoltech. Okay, so right here, this is the Revoltech that we're all used to. Okay, so this is Raiden from Metal Gear Solid, and you can see the scale right there. Okay, it's a lot smaller. Um, Revoltechs are cool until you see that, until you got to see all these exposed joints everywhere, right? And the way they work is, see how that arm, that popped off right now? That's very common with Revoltechs. Not super common, but when you're trying to do something else pops off. Well, I've always hated this, even though it gives me amazing posability. I've hated that for some reason. I was so hyped about these, and once I started buying them for my son, I'm like, man, these things like are annoying because it just goes to one click. And it stays there, right? So if you want to go to a pose in between clicks, it doesn't really happen. See, foot just popped off, and that's really common until these figures came about. Until this Ultron came about, now it changed the game. So these I've never liked for that reason, that they're exposed with the hinges a lot sometimes, and that you have to wait for the ratchet. Oh, there you go. Another arm just came off. That was very common for Revoltechs, okay? Well, forget about all that, because that's not what's happening right now. This Revoltech feels heavy. It feels solid. And the ratchets are only in certain places. So look at how well hidden the ratchets are in his leg. The ratchet, ball joints are. Look, they're back here, right? And they almost look like part of his design. So they'll have that. They'll have that. The foot has a little toe pivot here, and then it has a ratchet there. But these are good ratchets to have because that's where his body is the heaviest, it seems, in the legs. So for posability, this guy's great stability, okay? Now, the shoulders also have ball joints, but guess what? They're not like before. Look, nothing's popping off. I have to pull real hard to pop it off or to make something fall off. And look, I can get them in any position I want. Going up, going up, and it's staying wherever I want it to stay. And the pose is still good. So that's a really cool thing. Another cool thing is, see these metal parts right here where his stomach is? They go in if I want them to go, and they go out if I want them to go out. It's like they pop out of here. which is really cool. So you're gonna get a joint there. This moves and goes this way and up, and then you have your one in your chest, okay? And that's ratchet, but it works, the little ratchet ball joint. And then you have one on your neck, his neck, that does all the way that. It goes all the way down and to the side. And then his face can move just like the Vader in a way. It can only move so far this way. They expect you to move the neck with it. But he gets in every pose that I want it to. It comes with 2 sets of hands. So it's going to come with the open hand for each hand. And then it's going to come with the closed fist for each hand. So you're only going to get a total of 4 hands. You're also going to get this little blast effect that makes it look like he's shooting, something like that. It goes around both his knuckles like a little blast. You're going to get a little stand, a little clear stand. I'm not going to show you that, guys. And then he comes with this little thing to move his eyes. So if you take off his head and move this, you can position his eyes to kind of move wherever you want to. But the detail on this is crazy, and the shine is great. It's not as flashy as this part of the Build-A-Figure, but at the same time, look, it doesn't have any dead paint like this one. It's shinier than the dead paint, and it's all throughout the whole figure. The whole figure has that. It reminds me a lot of somewhere in between like a really shiny gunmetal and like the T-800 from Terminator's metal. It's like somewhere in the middle, and the detail is crazy. Look at all this. It's crazy how much detail he has, and it'll stick. It's like a figure arts. I know it's hard to explain because it's like, well, it's not a figure arts. It's got like the little ratchet joints, but the way they moved it this time, it's almost like they didn't, I'm trying to move these so you guys could see. It's almost like they knew people were gonna get the figure arts as well, and they needed to do something else to entice people to want to get this one. And if you guys have seen any pictures on the internet, which I've posted on the comments, especially from this guy named D Arts on Instagram, you could get it in the fetal position. You can get them in a shooting position, in his laying down, going to sleep. You can do a ton of stuff with this guy. And the scale is what's perfect about this. He fits with all my figure arts. I'm gonna grab the Superman so you guys can see how he looks next to Superman. So that's him. He's not Superman straight up, and Ultron's still bigger than him, which is a great thing. Another thing about this guy is that even though these fingers don't move, they've been made in a way where he's kind of got that old school comic book pose already going for you, which Ultron is not known for like having any other poses than I am the king, I am the conqueror kind of thing. But they work, this open pose. I mean, I could put the Marvel Legend Iron Man, maybe if I wanted to put the stupid little head, like he's looking at his creator or something, I could probably do it. See, there you go. So it's a really cool figure, and I think the reason why I got it is because I think everyone's gonna sleep on it and go for the figure arts, and when it's time to come back to this one, it'll be sold out. So that's the main reason why I got it. And this is how he scales next to like the Vader. See, you couldn't. I got Vader whipping right there. Watch me whip. So, man, this figure is great. It's not that expensive, and the detail on it is crazy good, guys. Like the joints, you can't really see them until you look for them. They're very well hidden and exposed, and they look like it's part of his aesthetic. I mean, look at this crap. I mean, I know we're comparing apple to oranges, but look at this thigh right here, and look at this, the hip. Look at the detail on this Revoltech. It's crazy good. And it's not a metallic paint job, but it is a metallic paint job. That's the best way I can describe it to you guys. It might not. It just that's the. I know it sounds stupid, but it's a metallic paint job without being metallic. So I'll post some pictures of you guys so you can see the poses, which is what I think really this is going to set apart from the figure arts. So if you're hesitant about a Revoltech like I was, this one completely changes the game for Revoltech. It's not like, I guess they heard how people hated their stuff because it falls apart when you're posing. And now it's just you can get them in any pose possible. All right then, guys, later.